Hello and welcome back to the Osimania Apprentice Level 7K tournament. I am one of the co-hosts for this tournament, SurfQ85, and I'll be sadly alone in this grand finals Mappool showcase. Yeah, and there is a lot to talk about for this stream in particular. First things first, we apologize for like a 2 hour delay from our usual Mappool showcase times. There were some issues that we had to iron out just to make sure that everything for the grand final for this map for this stream in particular to go into fruition. But other than that, though, yeah, this is the final, the last Mapple showcase for this tournament. It's kind of surreal that this project that has been in the works for quite a long time now is about to end, like in the upcoming weekend. It's gonna be weird to not have the pressures of being part of of a major tournament staff in a way. Like once this is finished. Anyways, we have 16 note charts to look at in this stream. The final 16 note charts that will be used in this tournament for this grand finals. And just to note, there are no expansions anymore. All of the matches are going to be happening at a best of 13. So I guess without further ado, it's time for us to start the grand finals Mapple showcase. All right, first up is ABMS Convert here, a remix by Sasakura UK's Sasakura UK, a remix of the late Ryuichi Sakamoto's Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. This is a fairly famous remix as far as I remember. And this is our mixed rice pick for this map pool. So this is our RC5. And being a mixed rice pick, there is a lot of things in this chart in particular. Uh, you're already seeing like pretty sparse mini jack usages that are pretty spread out, and then there are some grace notes as well scattered throughout the entire thing. You have to remember this is more oriented towards BMS players, so if you're if you're not well versed in charts like this, you might want to steer away from this one in particular. Though the structure is relatively simple, as you are seeing. Like, you just have to be extremely careful with those grace notes. Yeah, this is also one of our shorter picks in this map, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, you just have to be careful. Be careful with your misses. Yeah, we are seeing like a pretty dense bracket stream here. But considering the caliber of the players that we have, like, these should be fine in that section. You just have to be super careful, like not missing at all. Now here we go with a bit more of these bursty, heavy chord hits that I'm pretty sure everyone has to be super careful. Also, just some trivia for this song, the music in particular. This is a movie soundtrack remixed for this for this note for BMS, if I'm not mistaken. And the movie uh the movie where Merry Christmas Mr. Lawrence's soundtrack of is not exactly the happy kind of movie like what you'd think from the title of the song. Yeah, like it's basically the movie is about war. Yeah. All right, now let's move on to our next pick, which is the first of the three hybrid picks that we're going to be seeing. So we have Ramen is God, a chart by Makiba. If I hope I'm not mistaken. This is a qualifier, one of the qualifier charts for the Torneo Brasileiro do Osovania, or I hope I pronounced it correctly, the Brazilian Osovania tournament. I'm not sure which year in particular this is actually, but yeah, this is our first hybrid. This is our first hybrid pick. And
Oh,
just to note, this is our technical hybrid pick as well, since this is our hybrid 2. Also joining us in this Mappool showcase now is some Scouts. Hello.
hello there. I'm so sorry that I'm late. Did I miss too much or something like that?
We're only on the second chart.
Alright. So, here's going to be something I've noticed. So, it is the first hybrid pick. And my goodness, are these. Like, I don't know, but I'm seeing a mix of streams and LNs just mixed together. And this looks so difficult to hit and hold at the same time.
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff like this that we'll be seeing throughout the entire stream. Like lots of tricky patterns. Yeah, and this chart is going to be a prelude. Like all of the charts that you're going to be seeing in this stream are going to be a prelude to what is to come at the end.
Right now, based on what I'm seeing, so we saw, I think that was a mini jack right there, and a bit of stair LN. So, like, I can tell from here alone that this map pool certainly is going to be like a few steps ahead from what we saw on the previous round. As if semifinals to finals was not a big enough step already.
It's a lot of step up. There is a lot of step up that happened in between the finals and this map in particular, especially that we try to let's just say we try to adjust a lot of things. The pool fits the remaining three players that are going to be playing this map pool, and I hope that they find this fun. Not in the fun because the charts are easy kind of way though. Also, yeah, dump section in your hybrid. Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it is hybrid. See, when in 4-key, right? When I think of hybrids, one of the patterns that is very evident in those would be mini jacks. In here, I don't know, it seems to be more stairy, streamy, whatever. Like, those patterns seem to be very common on picks like this.
All right, now with that is our first hybrid pick. Now let's move on to our first LN pick in this map pool, and this is the first of the custom charts made for this map pool. We have Bang Sami's Lady May Core Star, and considering this is your conventional maple syrup LN density chart, I think you know what to expect here. You
Oh my
might,
goodness, that scroll
yeah,
speed. Alright,
yeah.
let's hear it.
Maple syrup plays with the flashlight skin, hence the no scroll speed. But yeah, this chart is quite dense, but then if you manage to decode this chart, this is very comfortable. Like despite like what the density looks like as is right now.
Well, nice, so really greeted with some stairs. And I mean, of course, it's density, so I'm expecting the OD of this to not be exactly the highest. But either way, it might be able to be easy to decode and practice, but being on a pressure situation would really make you wonder if you could even read this feedback. Especially given that there's like multiple notes where you have to hold on longer and multiple notes where you have to hold in early. Unlike in previous rounds where this is not really that often seen.
Yeah. Another thing is that for this Ellen density chart in particular, this is charted in such a way that this is what you're like. If you're more newer to the tournament scene, for example, like this is the stuff you'd usually see in the Mania World Cup, and like Mania World Cup, like first two rounds, like think round of 16 quarterfinals, like this is around in between those two rounds, if I'm not mistaken, and like it's really comfortable. Like it just looks pretty dense, but the movement is practically single directions. If you need to go to the other direction, the patterns are telegraphed to you. If you need to change the way you move your hands, for the most part. Yeah, this part though, it's kind of tricky. But again, you notice like it's a single direction, and if you need to switch, it's telegraphed. The telegraph is a heavy core. So it's pretty easy for you to transition to that direction change.
Yeah, I mean, the transitions on LNs are certainly something you must take note of, but it should be like at least one of the more straightforward picks compared to the others that are up ahead.
Yeah. It's I'd say it's going to be a favorite. I think it's going to be a favorite pick. Personally. Also, up next is actually our first mixed rice pick. The first chart that we shown in the stream is actually our technical pick. Apologies about
Wait a
that.
minute.
Wait a minute. Wait a
Is this
minute. Am I?
is this the actual one?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait,
What
did
is
I
this?
mess up the numbering? Did I mess up the numbering on my notes?
Okay,
Wait a minute.
this is but this is a pick, right?
This is a pick, yes.
All right. So what kind
Oh
of
yeah,
map is this then?
this is our mixed rice pick. Yep, this is our mixed rice pick.
Okay,
I
but
just got shocked by the accuracy.
I just can't fathom the score. I'm sorry.
I just got shocked by the accuracy. Then I remembered who made the replay. It's definitely Makiba, definitely. But yeah, you notice mix. All right, now let's go back to the start. You notice it is a slow bracket stream, but look at how many mini jacks are inserted in them.
Yeah, the thing about like here's the thing: we see some brackets and mini jacks. What makes mini jacks really hard in general to play is like the repetition of movement for one finger can really make you slip up, especially on your wrist or your finger in general. So right now you're being tested that while still being able to hit the other fingers which you haven't pressed yet. So a mix of those challenges will really make you slip up if you're not paying attention very well.
Alright, I got corrected by Makiba. The map pool discussion channel. The guy who made this replay is none other than Silly Fangirl, obviously.
Okay, I think yeah, silly fangirl. But I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but the score right now is I'm still really trying to fathom how this is even possible, especially given. But we're not gonna be seeing a 999 in this map, right? Right? We're not
I
seeing a
mean,
999, right?
I don't discount the possibility though, because this chart is actually pretty straightforward.
All right, so if someone gets a 999 on this map, I'm giving away 1 year of supporters. I mean, on the match. On the match. Has to happen on the match. All right?
It has to happen on the match.
Okay, clip that because I'm being
Alright,
clipped.
guys. Alright, alright, guys. You heard that? Please remember that. Thank you.
Yeah, because like the thing about this beat map is yes, it does seem to be one of the more quote unquote straightforward picks, but those mini jacks, I think I saw a 3 note mini jack a while ago. Like those kinds of mini jacks will really make your wrists unstable, as I've said with the analysis of repetition of movement for one of your fingers. So yeah, you really have to be careful on a pick like this. It might be quote unquote straightforward, but then again, you must be really cautious with not focusing too much on accuracy, especially considering that consistency is going to be a huge factor here. Like, I don't think this pick is that long either, so.
Now, we're not going to be alternating to chart, another bracket chart type because we're sticking with the rice for a sec because we have Alice Blue, H up by Roko, one of our friends in the no charting community. This is our speed bit. I saw this chart. Like this is one of the only charts that I actually saw in this entire map pool, and let's just say the players are up for a good ride here.
I like how you're just telling everyone that you're seeing only the pulls, or at least some of them right now. But then again, right off the bat, you're really greeted with some delay streams, which. Oh, what was that? Alright.
Yeah, this tournament is designed for 4 digits, by the way. You just have to remember that.
And right now, it's really looking like it's just really looking like it's the streams just don't stop. Like even in Eternal Drain, there were like a few breaks that I saw. This one just goes on and on and on.
Well, there's the break section that you want.
I bet this is like the only break section that's in here.
I mean,
Cause like
it's a BMS style chart. Like, this is the only break section you'll ever get. And then once the look at the score, it's still a 400k already halfway through.
so yeah, that can only mean one thing really. That means the rest of the chart is just going to be much more backloaded when it comes to the second half.
There you go. And yeah, like you'll just have to deal with like the stamina of being able to deal with this because like stuff like this you cannot even manip your way through. You have to play through this legit.
And yeah, like the thing about manipulating this is if you do so, uh, you're gonna get much lower accuracy. Not to mention also the risk of getting 50s, which could end up leading to misses, especially if it registers as a hit that was done way too early. I think we may have seen a few 50 or maybe even someone hundreds here. Okay, only one 100. But then again, this is still ridiculously difficult chart to be not only consistent on, but also just difficult to be able to play accurately as well.
All right. Up next is another custom chart made for this map. We have Inori Ame no Ayame, a chart by PWHK, and this is our LN wildcard pick. So this is going to be arguably the hardest of the LN picks that we'll be seeing here.
All right. It depends really, but you did say wild card, so I'm not surprised if players will find this a really difficult pick in general. Like right off the bat, you're already greeted with some, I would say arguably Ellen release-esque pattern. Like these are the patterns where you really have to make sure that you can estimate when you're supposed to release. Not to mention there are so many keys you have to press this time around, so you really have to be careful with that. And like the players remaining here have decent 4K skill, so I know that transitioning from 4K to 7K could be a little bit of a challenge here, but like they are in the grand finals for a reason.
Yeah, usually for these more wildcard picks, like they could also work as they could also pass as a mixed pick, like as we see from the hybrid as well. But like this chart in particular, I think the difference with like the wildcard and the mixed pick is like the wildcard is kind of out there. And you're already seeing here, like from the way the LNs are used here, like you're seeing slow LNs here and then the sudden burst. And the bursts are not exactly in a place where they're pretty comfortable. So yeah, just a full LN section all of a sudden.
Oh my goodness, what are like you're seeing some like rolls for LNs? Wow, just like it just keeps on going. I don't know why, but this really reminds me of slow dancing in the dark. Like, when I saw those patterns that are very portable. Like, this is exactly what it reminds me of.
Now for like I'd say like those LNs in this section in particular is like the most fun part of this start. So yeah, just a small invert section as well, just inserted right there for your pleasure.
And here we go. So now we have the sort of Ellen density section of this pool. And like, what's the difference between this and your typical Ellen density pick? It's ridiculously fast compared to Ellen density picks you've seen. Like, I've noticed this, but there's a pattern of Ellen density not exactly being the fastest maps there. This is a total opposite of that though. It's just really, really fast.
And that's like the pattern that we've been building up on ever since Joyful Snowfall a few rounds ago. Like
Man,
notice like it's a faster kind of LN, and then you need some sort of control as well to be able to pull off a score on those. We saw that as well on Magnum. We saw that as well on the other LN wildcards that we've seen throughout this entire tournament, and this is the culmination of that.
my goodness. But yeah. Moving on. Oh my
This
god,
is our
what
fourth
is
stream pick.
what? Why? Oh my god. Okay, this is not the ETT one, right? This is not the ETT one, right?
I don't know.
Oh my god. All right, let's see. Let's see. See, is tinnitus? Is it pronounced tinnitus or tinnitus? Is it tinnitus?
I think pretty sure it's Tinnitus.
Okay, so like tinnitus in
Yeah,
4K.
yeah.
Tinnitus in 4K is a stamina pick, like a very known stamina pick, which is jump stream and it's dense jump stream. So since you say that this is chord stream pick, I'm expecting this to be a dense chord stream pick in return. Well, there's my answer for now. I don't think it's exactly the densest, but certainly really difficult to coordinate in general.
Yeah, this like yeah, this chord stream pick is actually, you know what, this kind of reminds me of like a certain type of jump stream chart that you'll see in 4K, at least structure wise. Like you see the split rolly kind of jump stream. Like this is kind of that equivalent on 7K.
So split rolly jump stream. Alright, like, yeah, those kinds of jump streams really remind me of that. And then we have this, which in some way, this reminds me of those jump streams with, of course, break sections in between. and then after the break section, it just starts to get dense, really, really dense. Like Kasker Einheit reminds me exactly of
Yeah.
that.
Well, there comes the break section.
So here's the probably the. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, this is also a BM. This is also a song featured on BMS, right? So of
Yes, it
course
is.
it's of course gonna be same in a way similar structure in terms of the song.
But then we're going to start to see an increase in density again, like as the song starts to build up, and then we're going to see like most of the beef of this chart, like why they say the reason why this is classified as our chord stream pick. Like as we mentioned in the previous map pool, like the chord stream picks for finals and grand finals are going to be different from the previous pools. Like instead of like more of a bracketing type, like this is a more stair based stair-based chord stream just to change things up a bit for the players, and this is a culmination of that. As I mentioned earlier, this map is a culmination of many things that we've been building up on.
It's starting to get even a little bit more dense compared to a while ago. But after this sort of Kiai section or chorus rather, there's still some chord streams which you have to play, which I'm expecting is not exactly the most dense. Alright, yeah, here we go. At least here, the jump stream doesn't really, or rather, the chord stream doesn't really continue, so you have a much slower part. And there we go. Tinnitus is your chord stream pick of this pool. I mean,
Now we,
I'm
mhm,
like I just
yeah,
like
you
before we transition to the next map, I was just saying like at least comparing this to the previous map, I don't like the previous rounds version of the chord stream pick. I don't think this pick would be considered quote unquote like easy anymore. Like it won't be exactly one that everyone's just gonna be able to act, right? Like at least that's how I see this.
I mean, in the first place, like when we were starting to build the map pools, like we were working with the expectation that the players will be around like 97, like mid 96, mid 97 kind of scores, but obviously the player base kind of screwed our plans that way. So yeah, the pools basically they became harder than what we initially planned for, and but the players are just too good.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you
So
said you were going to be moving
we
on, right?
really needed to we really needed to throw charts like this in the pool at that, like when we realized that. All right, now let's move on, which will lead us to the halfway point of this Mapple showcase. We have Mitsukiyo's Dreamleaf, a chart by Liju, and this is our mixed LN pick. Which, funnily enough, this is an an LN chart that only has like 41% in LN, 41% LNs if I'm not mistaken. But
Oh
this is
my
an LN
goodness.
pick through and through.
I like how there's mini jacks already right off the bat. Like again, like the point a while ago I've been trying to make with mini jacks is those are just really hard to be stable on. So yeah, you do have a right section here, but what makes this LN, I would say, probably the mere fact that this chart just like at least the hardest parts of this chart would really focus more on the LN side rather than it being a balance of both skill set.
Like, LN players need to realize that they still need some sort of rise ability either way. Like, yeah, sure, the hybrid picks are there, but then look at this.
My goodness, like you know what? This reminds me of those parts in the Joyful Snowfall with like the triple LS and whatnot. But imagine that while still being able to mix Rice abilities and density later on.
Also, just to answer Liju's question, like, I got paid in the Mappool discussion. I'm like, why is this not hybrid? It was Makiba who put this in the mixed LN pick.
Also, I'm seeing in the chat that this is from MWC. Is it? Or is it not?
If I'm on this, I actually don't remember if this was because I don't just remember Liju suggesting this a few like last week.
So yeah, I mean, moving on from that. Okay, it's not. It's not. We're just trying to clarify. Okay. So now, your approach with those rolly LMs once again. And to end the chart, well, there it is. I mean, this map looks to be really more Ellen oriented. So I can definitely see why this is considered an Ellen map. So is this the eighth map that we've already shown on the stream?
Yes, it is.
So I guess we're on
And
the
we're
halfway
about to
point.
start. Yeah, we're and to start the second half of this Mapple showcase, we have yet another custom chart. This time by Irone also. This is our actually a new category. We don't have a longer mixed rice pick now, but instead
So
we
what is
have
this
a
map?
rice wild card pick, and for a very
Oh,
good reason.
all right. So I want to see what they cooked here.
Let's just say Irone also really cooked this, really cooked with this
Well,
chart.
you want to know what they cooked? Rice.
Why? Yeah,
They
they
cooked
did.
rice.
Yeah.
And right now, like at the start, you already see some roly rice, and you're mixing that with some chords here. So the mixture of those, it's sort of like mixing not straightforward patterns and straightforward patterns at the same time. And in that alone, it just gives you a lot of way to test your flexibility on how good you really are in patterns for all rice stuff.
Well, like look at that. This is a lot of this is a lot of everything, and like there's like a certain pattern that Irone also previewed to us in the Maple Circuit team. Like the one was started, and I just said like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I mean now you're seeing some streams and whoa, like this is what I would call this awkward. What is this? So you have to press the space bar as if it were a
Yes,
minigame. Oh my goodness!
yeah.
Oh my god! I can't
We're
wait to
not
see.
we're not pulling any stops in this map pool.
I just noticed this right now, but literally literally none of the players that are going to be playing seem to be watching this because we just saw that stream. We just saw the stream section, and now we're back to the mini jacks and whatever. And
Man,
continuing on,
this is beautiful. Good,
I
good luck hacking this section, by the way.
this part looks very satisfying to hit when you're playing casually, but on a pressure situation, as I've been saying a while ago, this has got to
Good
be
luck
one of the most.
hacking this, by the way. This is the section we meant, like, you know, also just cook.
This is not joke, by the way. That this is not the one key tournament. This is not a one key tournament. Like you remember when we saw the what's that again? The space bar part. This isn't one key, all right? I just saw something in the comments. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm aware of that 1K tournament.
Okay, just saying. You really have to focus here.
Beautiful.
And I won't be surprised, by the way, if players use two fingers for that one part. And right now, we are once again seeing Mini Jackson broken. Can you even say? I don't know, graces. I'd say graces. I almost said broken chords.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that jack. Those jacks! What?
Beautiful.
What was that? Ooh, and, oh my, what a way to end this. What
Good
a way
luck.
to end this. Alright, so before we move on to the next part, I just want to say this is such a cool map, and I really hope to see players. Also, Aroma, isn't that the 7K player in the Philippines?
Oh my gosh, why?
Alright, so next, it should be. Well, we already had Rice and LN. I guess. Can we finally have a hybrid next? I don't know.
Yes, we have a hybrid here. And this is
Oh,
Makibas Light of Renaissance. And and this is our hybrid one, and then a generic hybrid. And not gonna lie, I think this is the easiest pick in the entire pool.
alright, I
And
mean.
that is saying something.
So this is the easiest map? Wait, I just missed that?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay, I did miss it. But anyways, so now I wonder what makes this quote-unquote easy Well, right now, it doesn't seem to be as fast as the other picks, really. So, considering that this is Hybrid 1, being the successor to Top Demo Wandas, you're given a sort of a break section with Ellens and whatnot. But I'm confident after this it's going to be crazy once again.
I mean, it doesn't really get too crazy per se. It's just that you just need to be able to maintain their composure in charts like this. Like similar to what we had in Donde Mawan does it. We're not really going to say that song's title with the English accent, huh?
But yeah, I mean, right now, still have a sort of section which you could sort of have a breather, but I'm sure it's not going to last too long, as I can definitely tell from the song that it's going to have another crescendo at some point, which should be soon.
But yeah, like let's look at let's look at the chart structure. Like it's pretty simple, and I'm not going to be surprised like if any of the three matches are going to start the match with this pick. I mean, with this start being picked first, just to ease in, just to ease your strategies and stuff like that. But knowing the players, like they can do things differently.
Mm-hmm. So, given that we're here now, I just wanted to ask everyone something, alright? So, like, yeah, we've seen all really cool maps, but to the chat, do you have any suggestions for what I should put on my lawn in Plants vs Zombies? Thank you so much.
Wait, you're actually playing Plants vs Zombies right now?
Yep.
Just
I
put a
just wanted.
walnut or something.
All right, thank you. So, of course, given that we had hybrids, Rice and Ellens, I don't know. I think like, have you seen Rice yet? I guess we're gonna see another Rice, right, for the next one.
Yeah, we have another rice pick here, and in my notes it says Squidward, but the song is not related to SpongeBob at all. This is a chart by Makima Signager, though for this Mappool in particular, let's just say that I will be the one to upload. I'll be the one uploading this since lack of slots. But yeah, I forgot to mention this is our core jack pick for this Mappool.
Yeah. Okay. I was about to guess if this is the Kojak pick, and I guess I got it. Got it right. So here is gonna be one of the lesser dense sections, but like I already saw on the intro as to how this dense could really get.
Also, notice how the jacks are a bit more spread out this time around compared to what we had last weekend.
So not only are you all going for a more complex chord pattern, it's also become faster, I think.
So Makima really cooked, huh? Putting some LNs in the rice chart, huh?
Yep. Who put Ellen on my rice? But anyways, this seems to be still hackable by a lot of players really. And right now, we are at 99.89, yes, but at the end of the day, you only have really a few times to breathe. And I would argue that even the sections would really give you a difficult time. And now, once again, we're off to another continuous core jack section.
Also, I think there's a I don't discount the possibility as well. Like some of the players might find this easier than last week's core jack chart. I won't be surprised if that's the case. But yeah, it really depends on like what kind of core jacking the player really prefers.
My goodness. I guess I guess players are just too good nowadays, huh? Because like, if this could really be easier than the previous round's picks, then my goodness, how good of scores are we going to be expecting this round?
All right, now up next is your favorite note chart type.
Oh my goodness!
This is our obligatory Wilben Chan chart in a tournament.
It's I'm so excited to
Yes,
see this.
and I really like this chart. Like the moment this was suggested, I played this. I had Like I really do. Like this has to be in the pool in
So
some form.
this is one of the maps that we've seen in this pool at least.
Yeah. And like and not to mention, it's so rare to find LN coordination charts that just fits very well in a niche that this tournament is in. Like normally in a high level tournament, like early game LN coordination would feel more like an kind of kind of thing. But this is hard enough to be an end game for a lower level tournament, but easy enough for a lower level tournament as well. Like this just fits so well in this niche.
My goodness, the coordination here is really going to require a lot of patience here. I'm actually really nervous, especially considering how much estimation you really have to make in such a short amount of time to be able to know when to release and which figure to do so. Like if there's something I've noticed, there's usually a trend of players either releasing too early or releasing too late. And the thing about releasing too late is I'm not sure if you can agree with this, but it's a bad habit that could be developed if you play a lot of Score V1. Given the fact that Score V1 still counts your LN release if you release it too late.
Yeah. Like the thing the thing about this card is that you're not really given any room for early or late releases. Like the song is slow enough that early releases can break your combo, but the song is also fast enough to do the other way as well. Not to mention that you're also paying attention to like the longer LNs as well, and those are a pain in these kinds of charts. Also, just to mention, this is a fairly short pick as well, so no time to recover if you're very misprone.
And moving on from this,
We have a
oh,
spoon
so
guide chart.
okay. How long is this? Look at this length. So I assume this is gonna be the successor to Shime, right? It's gotta be the
This
successor to that.
this is our stamina pick, yes.
So
Also,
if Mhm.
actually, now that you mentioned, we kind of switch uh a few things around. Last week, it was the stamina pick that was a bit more steady kind of chord stream, and the other the shorter chord stream pick is more brackety. This time around, it's a stamina pick that's more chord streamy, and the shorter chord stream is the one that's more stair
that's an
switch.
interesting switch.
Yeah.
But like, was it made on the sacrifice of making the stamina map longer or something like that? Or I mean shorter rather.
Pretty much, yeah. One thing that has been mentioned to me a lot of times by the other people in the Mappool selection team is that slow brackets, despite their density and everything, are always a pain to hit, regardless of what level you are in. And this definitely qualifies in that slow bracket bracket.
Slow bracket. And like right now, I can tell why it's a pain. Because like if you think about it, you have time to focus. Like I remember when you keep on mentioning this term called finessing the pattern. In slow brackets, you're not really given a lot of room to be able to finesse those patterns. Because you have to maintain stamina while still being able to accurately hit them and also be consistent with that.
Also, I might I did mention this earlier, like before the replay started, that this is a spoon guide chart, just a cut version. So there's gonna be a custom upload for this since this is a cut version. And spoon guide charts are not known to be straightforward.
I mean,
You're really seeing some of that unstraightforwardness with those grace notes.
you can already see how unstraightforward it is really, yeah.
You're
Like
dealing
right
with the
now,
grace notes and the density of this chart.
I'm actually really excited to see how players will do on a map like this. Especially considering Like, yeah, they made it this far, but you have to remember these kinds of maps are still no joke, really, especially with the patterning and how it's really just structured overall.
Also, yeah, I forgot to mention, like, the reason why we had to cut this because like, the original length of the start is 9 minutes.
Oh my goodness. And like this seems to be like 6,000 plus objects or something, maybe even more.
Yeah, it should
With
be
the
more
with
than
cut
that.
version.
I should like try to play this, play the full version of this chart now that I don't know, I see it. Like this is well within my range.
But it's a scary one
It's
though, I have to
really
admit.
long.
It's definitely up there in terms of length. But I have to mention the patterning might be something that players may tend to forget. You know what? This reminds me of ridiculously long Ice World, Fullerene, Shoegazer stamina charts where they just go on and on and on. But the difference between that and this is in tournaments, usually one of the things that makes the jump stream chart or stamina chart hard is not only the stamina factor, but also with how fast it is. So this is a sort of contrast with this really, as it was mentioned a while ago, slow brackets is what is really a pain regardless. So again, the big contrast just really goes to show how flexible the mania scene could really be.
I mean, like, I think it was Makiba who mentioned this to us in like in the Mappool discussions, like a few weeks ago. Slow bracket, anything below 200 BPM is just finger coordination overall, and that is a hard skill to hone. Anything faster than 200 BPM is another kind of beast, and that is also painful. So basically, regardless of how fast your brackets are, they will always and always be painful.
It's really just gonna be pain all around, okay? I guess that's what they're trying to say. And right now, I mean,
I'm
goodness, this
surprised
is-
that with the length of the start, there was no denim patterns at the start. It would have been fun. It would have been
What's a-
funny though.
what's a denim pattern again?
4-3-4.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. But like, if there's denim patterns here, my goodness, the stamina of these players would have run out even faster. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, it would have been funny. Yeah. Now, that is actually our last rice pick in this pool. Now let's move on to our last hybrid pick in this pool, and it's
Oh my,
Camellia. Huh?
you really had to use Neuro Cloud 9. Oh my god. Like, the moment I saw Neuro Cloud 9, I was like, okay, this is gonna be hard.
Also, just to mention, this is a what is this background? I know I'll be the I'll be the one to upload this. I know the background, but every time I see the background, it's always so funny. Also, shout outs to
Yeah,
Makima. They actually custom charted this if I remember correctly. This is a special MALT edit that will be uploaded after this showcase.
Oh.
And since this is our hybrid tree, this is our wildcard hybrid, and it's all over the place.
So it already starts with those Grace Ellens. My goodness. This has got to be one of the harder picks of the pool. Maybe.
I mean, you thought slow dancing was hard. Look at this.
This is like slow dancing, but add a ton of physicality to it. Which I think essentially is what this pick is. Like slow dancing with so much physicality. So it's not really slow dancing anymore.
More like slow fist fighting in the dark.
Yep.
Also, there's a certain pattern here that Makima is Makima is like so excited to show. And
Okay,
it should like somewhere at the start.
don't spoil it if you know it. I want to be surprised. Alright, let's see.
It won't be now though. It'll be later.
My goodness. I'm actually really nervous to like. I'm just really I'm just trying to anticipate what kind of pattern it could be.
I'm not sure if it's this difficulty, but here we go. That
Oh,
pattern.
what was that?
A
What
pattern that
is
you might
that?
need to double thumb.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, guys. Welcome to 7K. You might need to learn how to double thumb your spacebar.
Or just get a keyboard that double taps on the spacebar. Maybe it can do that for you.
I mean, though. I mean, you could hit that pattern with a single thumb, but you might need. I think if you're not done with it, you might want to learn how to double thumb.
And oh my goodness. Like, you're just seeing Rory LNs mixed with some difficult price patterns already. My goodness, this LN chart just. I just called it LN, sorry. This LN card just really tests everything about your proficiency in being able to tell which patterns to hit. And here we go, here's the final stretch of the map. Ooh, it really had to be mapped like the ending of that Yoru chart, huh?
Yeah, yeah. That's had to be. All right. Back in the beginning of this tournament, like actually not really at the absolute beginning, more like the playoffs pool. There's a certain thing that I said. My tournament, my rules. I put Nanahira in the map pools.
Okay, don't tell me
Let's
the
start
next pick.
these.
Don't tell me the next chart is a Nanahira chart. Please, don't tell me that.
It
All
is,
right,
and this is
well
our
it
Ellen
is.
release pick. This is our Ellen release pick. We have Nanahira's cake,
Is that
and
the actual name of the beat map
yeah,
creator? Na 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 na.
yeah. And there's a good reason why we classify this as our LN release pick.
Okay, so we're really gonna end this with Ellen release, and it's a Nanahira pick
Yeah.
out of all.
Yeah. But not gonna lie, like this is one of the most straightforward. This is one of the most straightforward LN charts in this pool, actually, aside from Lady May 4-star. But what makes this
So
extremely tricky is basically being able to maintain your composure throughout this entire chart. Because you're seeing shields, you're seeing river shields. This is a little bit of everything that you're going to be seeing in like a higher level 7K. So yeah.
so I
Also,
mean,
I'm pretty sure you should be familiar with this chart in particular, really.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like the patterning seems very familiar, and like not to mention these short LNs. I like how there's a sort of density-esque pattern just right there.
But again, the emphasis is on your release timing, like staccato LNs included, weird release timings included, maybe some mini inverts included. But like, I'd say like if you really need to, you might want to treat the rice notes as like a cue on where where you are positioned in. Apologies about the talking fit.
It's okay, it's okay. So I do hope everything's fine now as we continue with the LN release parts. A nice sort of full LN section there. So like what makes this LN release is look at those very short LNs mixed with the longer ones. Like you're not like you really have to make sure that you know when or how much you need to wait till you release. Whether it's really quick or you have to hold a little bit more.
Also,
Yes,
yeah,
it's,
just to mention, this is one of the longer picks in the pool as well. Like we actually have a fair spread of like long and short picks,
it's
which
actually
is
really cool to
definitely
see.
yeah, it is. Which is I'm definitely not foreshadowing what's about to come, by the way.
Alright, so let's just see what's going to happen. I'm really excited to see what this offers. And by the way, so yeah, more So we're seeing a little bit more LNs. This part is just full LN, literally. That one part was just
Yeah.
full LN. And I just wanted to say this as a side note. I won the Plants vs Zombies round, so thank you so much for the potato suggestions, the walnut suggestions.
Thank you.
But yeah, here we go. More short LNs mixed with longer LNs, and just it just really looks like it's going to be pain to be consistent on, or in general, just being able to act. And man,
Well,
can
wow.
can I just preface this by saying I can't believe that it's already grand finals weekend. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, like as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, like there has been like this tournament has been in the plans ever since what MWC 7K this year actually ended. Like there has been a noticeable lack of tournaments targeted towards like the players around the skill level. I mean, it's kind of not a secret that I actually wanted to play a 7K tournament for so long now, but I just cannot, given given the focus of most 7K tournaments has been on the upper levels of the players. And it's so nice to give all of the players that joined this tournament the spotlight this time around. And not to mention as well like the people who staffed for this tournament, and most especially the Mappool selection team. Not just limited to the people who actually picked the charts themselves, but also the people who contributed by playtesting, by by scouting charts, by doing edits and all that stuff, and those people as well who made the replays. And especially, I'd really like to give a massive shout out to Makiba, Tasty Dumpling, um, Irone Osu, PWHK, Liju, because they've carried the Mapple selection effort for practically the for practically 90% of the entire tournament. Especially that it's not really a secret, like for especially in the staff for this tournament that I'm not exactly at the best of health right now, and the entire tournament just trying to hold on, trying to take it easy if I could, especially that I'm also juggling this tournament with my master's thesis writing. And
Mhm.
honestly, I'm so thankful for that. This tournament has been this big, which is something that us hosts never really expected. But wow, like why am I talking as if this is we already finished the grand finals
I
matches though?
mean, I mean, it's
I should
just,
probably save this to next week.
to be fair though, it's just surreal that we've gone this far, and I would like to give a shout out myself to the rest of the players who decided to try something new and participate in this tournament. It makes me happy to see that, you know, a tournament like this exists, and as someone who played in here, I had so much fun on all of the rounds. Like, this is when I realized, man, there's just so much fun to have in this key mode. And I sincerely hope that this tournament becomes the catalyst for more 7K tournaments to come, regardless of what skill level you are in. I'm just really happy to see that this tournament was able to showcase that there's so many good 7K players out there. And even if you started in 4K or something like that, you definitely have the potential to get something good on a more expanded key size or keynote size, if that makes sense. And it really makes me proud to see everyone just play their hearts out in general so far.
Hmm. By the way, before we continue, I think we should do a small Q&A for a sec. Like,
All
as
right.
one of the hosts here, we were one of the players and one of the staff as well. Like, how's been your experience?
Are you referring to me or something? Just making sure.
Yeah,
Or
yeah. Just
so
making
my
sure.
experience, I just wanted to be like, I just wanted to say, my experience in this tournament has been really, really. it's been really fun. Starting from the qualifiers, I was really nervous, because like I've never played the 17 tournament, so I wasn't exactly sure as to how my tournament experience in 4K would translate here. And given that I made it to as far as I could have really, I can't really complain. I had so much fun here. And I think another thing I'd like to mention is trying something new as a 7K tournament like this. Again, this possibility really makes me happy as someone who really wanted to have a different kind of tournament and something that I could also play in really for the most part. So my experience as a player has been great. Commentating matches has been wonderful as well. Like, seeing all of the players perform at their best. Like you might even like sometimes you even think to yourself, this player can play 7K? Like, just discovering more and more talented and skilled players just makes you really wonder how much how much more hidden treasures we're able to find in the future.
And honestly, like seeing everyone rise up to the occasion, like making sure that they're capable of, like they're able to keep up. Like the journey hasn't been exactly smooth, like especially like Mappool wise and all of that stuff really for the most part. And like there's like a lot of things that have been quite rough. I mean, like in a way, there's like a certain what's the word here? Void that has been blossoming throughout like the feeling that we've had in at least in the Mapple channel. Like how are we going to keep up? How are we going to make sure that like we deliver the right Mapple for our players? Also, just for the which we do not have a custom song. We're not. Oh my gosh, I was about to sing in Tagalog. Like we kind of don't have the budget for that, by the way. Just making sure.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah, I guess it's time for us to stop stalling
well,
to the tiebreaker chart of this map pool. We have
oh,
SDMNE's Voids Blossom, actually the custom song for MGTS, an Osu Taiko tournament, and this is a collaboration chart by quite a few people in the Maple selection team.
do we?
We'll talk through the entire chart, but I think we should start a replay.
All right, here we go. Let's see how crazy this really is. Wait a minute, why do I see the malt
Yeah,
background?
yeah. There's like a lot of things.
Oh, wow! All right.
Yeah, this is chart is made PHWH, Makiba, Lanpai, Liju, myself, Maple Syrup, and wait, did I miss anyone? Irone Osu. There we go.
There we go.
I always forgot the people who were in this collaboration in the first place, huh? But yeah, let's just say this chart is the reason why we had to delay the Mapple showcase by 2 hours.
And right now, you're just seeing the fruits of the labor, starting with some chords. And here we go. I believe the crazy part's just gonna get started later on, but let's have some build up first.
Like this part is charted by Makiba, and like arguably this is possibly the easiest part of this entire chart. And mostly because like the stairs are pretty comfortable throughout the entire thing, and the essentially the chords are pretty intuitive to at least hit. Also, I have to mention this tiebreaker, by the way, is like around 8 minutes and 40 seconds. So yeah, you'll have to manage to play throughout the entire thing.
Though right now, luckily there is still a sort of break section here, but you still gotta be careful. This is like the kind of pattern that you can easily rush if you're not paying attention.
Yeah. Also, if you were paying attention, like the BPM was changing throughout that entire trill. So yeah, be careful of rushing. As now we enter the next section, which is started by Lenpai and arguably one of the most fun sections to watch.
To watch, but is it fun to play? We'll just have to see. As
Yeah.
this is still not the most dense part yet. I'm pretty sure. But wow, you cannot. You really can't. You really have to put graces in. And what was that mini jack on the space bar?
Welcome to 7K. But yeah, massive shoutouts as well for to Evening, who made this background video for this note chart in particular, and they pulled this. Evening pulled this off in like what, a span of 5 hours. Like they started making the video like sometime like around 6 p.m. Singapore time, which is like what, 10 a.m. UTC.
Yeah, it's 10 8 UTC. So my goodness. So as time progresses, you do get this one break section, and look at this right now: 200,000. This long in the map.
Ah, yes. We're not The score is not foreshadowing anything. What do you mean? Yeah,
And
this part is charted by Lingyu, if I remember the collab parts correctly. Yeah, it's a fair part. Like you're starting to see a bit more LNs this time. Like the first start of his start is practically like a rice start on its own.
just makes me realize, um, right now you do have these break sections, but like you still have a lot of graces in there. So I won't be surprised if there will be still some mistakes that are brought here and there.
Oh yeah, here we go. Here's my section.
And once again, I like how there is still some, like, it looks like the letter D. It really looks like
Yeah,
the letter D.
replace the T on the tournament name to D, and this is called MALT.
Yeah, that's what you get when you rage on this tournament. You mauled. And
But
okay,
yeah, serve
those
QLNs.
really, oh my goodness. So you're really gonna put this as well in the TV?
Also, by the way, this section and the next two sections is the funniest section in this entire chart, and I can't wait for everyone to see that section.
All right. So yeah, it's starting to get a little bit. It's still calm if you think about it.
Now here's Irone Osu's section. This is what
Oh,
I meant by funny. This is what I meant by funny.
oh my god! This is like Carnation, but on 7K. My goodness, it's like Carnation but 7K, and I can already tell that this is going to be really hard.
By the way, this is so hard to keep your combo on. Really hard. And now we are about to enter another section by PWHK. The intro of this chart was actually charted by PWHK as well. And this is practically a continuation of what we had from Irone Osu's section. But this is, like, you thought the LN jacks were just fine. Like, now here's some long jacks with rice, but you're having long holds that are really hard to coordinate on.
My goodness, and like, if who even made this? Apparently YZ was the one who made this replay. And
Yeah,
if you have a top player that can't even full combo this far, what more are we going to be seeing from these players? This has got to be a really difficult map.
now this section which is a relatively tamer section, is started by Maple Syrup. And this is definitely a break in the action, like basically a place where you might want to gain your accuracy. But again, like with all Maple Syrup charts, like you still need to be super careful. You need to keep on paying attention because there are some unorthodox column placements, especially for the rice notes here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see how this one stands out. So once again, more break sections. And I can't help but look at the score right now. I'm sorry. Look at the score right now, 600,000, and we're already past 3/4 of the chart.
Oh, you're about to see the reason why the score is that low. Welcome to Legion section, a full-on LN density hybrid thing.
I like how you said thing.
Yeah. I just had to say thing because there's no other way to explain it.
Yeah, and now these Ellen parts ridiculously dense. Oh man.
By the way, the start is going for ranked as well after this tournament, so just stand by for that.
And now we're having some rise sections. So like this LN just really goes to show how beautiful this looks in general. Those LN releases and mixed with stuff. It's crazy to see how good how diverse this chart really is.
Yeah, like this has a lot of things that if you're a 7K player, you just need to be able to try all of these patterns. Really, like this has been like the main essence of 7K. Really, like what kinds of patterns can you play through? Also, now this ending section is made by Maple Syrup, by the way. Fun.
Oh my god. It really just won't stop. Like the thing I noticed is it's continuous now. And
Column 1 LN, by the way.
don't tell me this is a Percy check part. Oh, okay, sir. So you really this is a Percy check part, isn't it? It
And
is.
that
Let's just say it is.
ends the Oceania Apprentice level 7K tournament tiebreaker and grand finals Mappool showcase. What do you think? Nice. Don't see the stream with that. Hey, can you say something else?
Okay, I will say something else, alright? Okay, to be serious, okay. That pool it really just gives me the feeling that, like the mappers were able to express themselves very well, and in turn the players are going to be in one big test to see how proficient they really are in this key mode, like being able to tell how you're able to play this chart with all the keys that you gotta press and all the grace notes, all the streams, the delay patterns, the chords, and the mini jacks as well. Like, you really gotta be careful in that. And I'm so excited to see how these players will do.
While trying to get the obligatory stuff out of the way, match schedules will be released hopefully within the next 24 hours. We'll be working on that shortly. All customs and edits will be uploaded shortly after this Mappool showcase. Somewhere like at the end of this Mappool showcase as well, or once the charters responsible for those charts are able to upload them. Again, massive shoutouts to Mapple selection team for cooking. We basically cooked the entire tournament, and I hope the players, again, like if you're not that comfortable playing like extremely high level charts, well, relative to your skill level, don't try to push yourself. Just try to get as high as the score you could without overdoing it. Obviously, we don't really want to risk any injuries from any of the players for the most. Just playing keyboard smashing, something like that. You have anything else to say before we wrap this one up?
Good luck to the players. Don't forget to have fun. And I'm very proud of how everyone's done so far. But most importantly, the players who still remain, just do whatever you can. Just know that no matter what it is, you've done a really good job of being able to play these charts. And that's about it, really.
And that is the Grand Finals Mappool Showcase for the Oceania Friends of the 7K tournament. This has been Sir Q85 and still Weska else in the booth. See you guys on the coming weekend for the final weekend of this tournament. See you guys then.